Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is a Monday. Holy cow, we are cruising right through this month. It is October the 23rd, and today is National Boston Cream Pie Day. Do you like that?
I do.
Also, Event Organizers Day, International Snow Leopards Day, National Canning Day. Ooh, Heidi's going to like this. National Croc Day.
Oh, good Lord.
It's her favorite shoe of all time.
It is absolutely not.
She hates my Crocs. It's
So
iPods
much.
Day today, National TV Talk Show Host Day, National Mole Day, and much, much more. And I've got a guest joining me for a Movie Star Monday, Mr. Ed Begley Junior. What? I'm
you
excited to
go.
chat with him. That's pretty cool. He's been in a lot of stuff.
He
I don't
has.
know if they got the note that this is the John and Heidi show. But no, it's been amazing. Some of the Movie Star Monday
You've
guests.
had some amazing guests.
I feel
excellent.
so blessed. So thank you to Ed Begley Jr. for joining the list of Movie Star Monday guests. We'll have him on the program in a bit.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. A new study published in the Journal of Applied Animal Behavior Science suggests that giving an anxious dog a chew toy can actually help improve their memory. Auburn University researchers found that for anxious dogs, chewing on something can help them focus and decrease psychological arousal, while for calmer dogs, chewing could actually be a distraction. They believe that anxious dogs can gain a therapeutic effect from chewing, which may reduce stress levels. So,
Well, that's nice.
yeah. What are
I
dogs
wonder if they
stressed
can
out
have
about?
bubble gum.
No, they can't have bubble gum. But what are dogs stressed out about? It's not like they've got deadlines to meet or taxes to pay.
But it can
How am
be
I going to
very
make rent for the
stressful.
doghouse? So I
If
don't
they're
know.
nervous about, sounds and...
Yeah, I suppose. Our dog has got the best life ever. I would swap places with our dog any day.
Got a dog that's allergic to electricity.
No, that's not a thing. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know? Apparently heads or tails is not quite as fair as we've been led to believe. University of Amsterdam researchers discovered that there's a natural bias that occurs when flipping a coin. In an experiment, coins were flipped 350,757 times.
Yikes, that's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. They found that the side that was originally facing up came back to the same position 50.8% of the time. Well, that doesn't seem like much of a bias. Scientists say it's overwhelming evidence for same-side bias. To illustrate this, they pointed out that if you bet $1 on the outcome of a coin toss 1,000 times, knowing the starting position of the coin would earn you 19 extra dollars on average.
Okay.
19 whole dollars. But you'd have to watch somebody flip a coin 1,000 times to get that. It's going to take more than an hour.
In this economy, $19 is $19.
We don't know everything. But now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Is Seinfeld working on a revival? Maybe.
No.
During a stand-up show in Boston recently, Jerry Seinfeld teased that possibility. Kind of, sort of, maybe. He referred to an iconic comedy series, the one called Seinfeld, telling the crowd that he has a little secret and something is going to happen related to the ending. He teased, it hasn't happened yet, and it's just what you're thinking about. They've been talking about something. Anyway, he wouldn't really elaborate, so we're going to have to stick around to find out. Joel McHale said he's not bothered at all by Chevy Chase's recent comments about their comedy community. Chase made headlines recently saying that he thought the show wasn't funny enough. But he also,
Then why was he on it?
well, he also got kicked off the show for saying something racist to somebody. So maybe that's why he doesn't feel that way.
Okay, so it's all
Could be.
relative.
And for those of you who've been watching The Golden Bachelor, apparently everybody's fallen in love with Jerry Turner. He's the guy that is the Golden Bachelor. And it started back in September is when it hit the airwaves, and now
I
people
haven't
are...
seen the show, but I love this idea.
It's a cool idea. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Here it is, Heidi, your annual excuse not to rake the leaves. So first of all, do you dislike raking leaves?
Of course.
Yeah, I think most people do. Although I think there are some people that we know that I think kind of liked that. It's like they live for that. They're like, oh, I'm raking leaves.
No, it's a terrible job.
It's not my... I have a leaf blower. And I remember like one time I was actually blowing leaves with it and I started laughing. I'm like, oh, that's right. That's what this is for. I use a leaf blower for everything else.
You love using
I love
a
my leaf blower, but I'm not a fan of raking leaves
No.
or even blowing the leaves. But if you need an excuse not to, good news, the Nature Conservancy, Conservancy, is that how you'd say it, of Canada, they have a green-friendly response for those of us who'd like to avoid the back-breaking, callus-creating task of raking leaves. Here's what they say. Don't do it. Why not? Go ahead and ask why not.
Well, I think I already know because it's actually better for the land.
Well, since you're not going to ask, I'll tell you why not. There are 3 major benefits to keeping the leaves in the yard during the fall. First is it helps biodiversity.
There you go.
As there are many native insects and small critters like frogs and toads that hibernate under the leaves in the wintertime, as well as a food source for birds and other things like robins. They often will forage among the leaves to look for insects, the ones we talked about a minute ago.
That makes sense.
Other benefits to the lawn itself. Leaves provide a natural mulch when they break down, which helps soil development. Larger piles of leaves can impact the growth of grass and other plants coming in the spring, but a thin layer of leaves, the way God intended, can actually help maintain the health of gardens and lawns. So they're going, if you got a problem where everything died because there's a pile of leaves, that's because you raked them in a pile. If you leave it alone, it'll be just fine. And if you don't believe it, don't blame me. It's from the Conservancy of Canada. I've got a link in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Movie Star Monday. Our guest today, Ed Begley Jr. We're going to talk to him about his new book. I've had a chance to flip through this thing, and holy cow, you've led a very interesting life.
It's unbelievable. When I started to enumerate these things, these events and what have you, starting innocently enough with my daughter recording it on her smartphone, just for my kids and grandkids, I wanted to archive some of these things so they'd know some of my life experiences. And I went, wait a minute, this is too much fun. I'm going to write this up myself on the computer and see if maybe other people want to read it. And that's just what happened. And here we are. I had great fun writing it. And now I want to do another book. I enjoyed it so much.
Now, the title of the book is To the Temple of Tranquility and Step on It. So let's talk about that title.
My dear friend Dick Stahl, he was a wonderful actor. He was a TV and film actor, a stage actor, a great improvisational actor. But this was a line he did not utter on stage or on film. He had, like me, been very moved by the Beatles getting involved with the Maharishi, and they had sought enlightenment there from him. And a spiritual path. And so he decided to do that. And like me, a very type A personality, he booked a trip to Hawaii and on to the Philippines in a merchant marine vessel. He had a room there to get to this island, and then a little sampan kind of a boat, and then a rickshaw. But things went wrong right at the start. The flight to Hawaii was late leaving LAX, so he just missed the flight to the Philippines. Because of that, the next merchant marine vessel was weeks later, and then it was monsoon season. And when he finally gets to the island and runs up the dock and gets in the rickshaw, he says to the driver, "To the Temple of Tranquility, and step on it." And the driver started to laugh, and he laughed, and he realized how absurd it was. You can't rush serenity. And I also, unlike Dick, I decided to try to find serenity in a bottle, and that's not a good place to find long-term serenity. I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh, yeah, I agree completely. Now, Ed Begley Jr. is our guest. You've had a chance to do everything from acting on stage, movies, television. Now you even put out a book. What was the first big thing that you remember doing where you go, hey, this is kind of cool?
My first job was My Three Sons, and that was a big deal because it was a very popular show when I was a teenager. And then the next big job, I guess the first big job that I got that was really amazing to me, a wonderful man named Paul Schrader gave me a part in a movie that he was doing called Blue Collar. And that movie also starred Richard Pryor, Yaphet Kotto, and Harvey Keitel. So I went, how did I get into this? I didn't even have to audition. He just gave me the part. He saw me in a Bob Rafelson movie called Stay Hungry and when he'd be good for this part. And then I got another part and another part in some very good 70s movies. There's a wonderful book about that period, too, called Easy Riders and Raging Bulls. It's about how the industry changed at that point in film history, and the studios were slow in keeping up with it. So smaller companies like BPS produced these movies like Five Easy Pieces, and these wonderful movies like Easy Rider were made on a shoestring, and it changed the industry in a big way, and I think for the better.
Our guest, Ed Begley Jr., he's got a new book, To the Temple of Tranquility, and Step on It. How long did it take to write this book?
It was amazing how quick it went. I started just taking notes for my daughter for some imagined ghostwriter I might one day find. And I went, after I had about 45 pages of notes, I realized they weren't really notes, but they were chapters of a book. And the keyboard for me became like a Ouija board that actually worked. I would be writing a story about my friend James Jeremias and I studying cinematography at Valley College. And but wait a minute, what about the time James and I went to smoke a joint with his family living up the hill from his friend? And it turned out those people were Charles Manson and the Manson gang. You know, we learned later, a year later, when we saw in the newspaper, like, wait a minute, those are the people we were there out in Chatsworth with a year prior. And it was lots of things like that, meeting gods and monsters, really, saints and incredible sinners, people who did terrible things and people who did great things. I met the great Cesar Chavez, the head of the United Farm Workers, Dolores Huerta. You know, I met incredible people, the Beatles, the Monty Python, great artists and great leaders in every way, every sense of the word. So I'm one lucky man, and I'm smart enough to know it.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to share with us, not only on the program here, but also in the book, To the Temple of Tranquility and Step on It. Ed Begley Jr. is our guest. Ed, thank you for your time, sir.
John, thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Again, our guest today has been Ed Begley Jr. on this Movie Star Monday, and he's got a new book out, To the Temple of Tranquility and Step on It. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If you are nominated for a Nobel Prize, you'll likely never know unless you win. So people get nominated all the time. They don't get a letter
I'm sure
saying...
I've been nominated.
I've probably been nominated
multiple
1,000 times. Okay, neither one of us ever. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Animals yawn based on how large their brain is. The bigger the brain, the longer they yawn. That's why I yawn so long.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I yawn for minutes.
That's exactly what it is.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the Philippines, you can buy spaghetti at McDonald's. Does that seem
knew
weird?
that.
That seems odd. Do they call it mixed spaghetti?
They used to have spaghetti in the U.S.
Did they really? I
Years
didn't know
ago.
that.
Yep.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Ancient Rome had rent a chariot business. That's kind of cool, isn't it?
Okay.
They called it Uber. No, they didn't really. I don't know what they called it, but they called it something. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Scientists have figured out how to unboil an egg. So if you ever have a reason for that.
Why?
I don't know.
Wow.
Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 32% of people said they'd like to visit this faraway place. Where is it? It's not a place we'll ever go in our lifetime.
Oh, geez. I don't know then.
The moon.
Oh.
Would you like to?
Not even a little.
Me neither.
Nope. Not even a little.
There's no luxury places to stay on the moon. No, I can't imagine even wanting to go there. But apparently 32% of people want to check it out. Mint Mobile question
This is
of
why
the day.
I don't talk to people.
Exactly. Comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Over the past week or so, the recipients of various Nobel Prizes have been announced, honoring the pinnacle of human achievement in sciences and art. And sure, those awards have their place, but let's not overlook this. A charismatic black cat named Giles is the winner of the 15th annual Hambone Award.
The Hambone Award.
Much more prestigious than the what's those other things? Nobel Prizes. This one's given out by Nationwide Insurance to the most ridiculous yet still mild pet medical claim of the year. So this is something that they had to cover this insurance-wise. Giles took home a trophy and some stitches after getting stuck in a sofa bed.
Aww.
The Hambone Award were inspired by a claim where a dog got mild hypothermia after getting stuck in a refrigerator and eating an entire ham.
Oh, jeez.
The year's winner, Giles, had stiff competition, including a parrot who got in a fight with a door and a phone charger chewing puppy. The family of Hambone winner receives a trophy, a gift card, and an opportunity to donate to a pet charity of their choice.
Okay.
Do they cover the claim at least? That's all I want to know. All right. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Terrible names for hair salons. These are all real hair salon names that people on the internet think were horrible. Some of these I think are great.
Okay.
But they're puns. So there was a thing where they're saying, hey, have you seen
you
a hair
love
salon
puns.
with a horrible name? And people said these were like Jack the Clipper. I think that's clever.
I kind of like that.
I do too.
I kinda
The
like
best
that.
little hair house.
Okay, that one's a little...
Choppers. Choppers is another one. Grateful Head hair salon. Running with Scissors. That's another one. British Hairways, because there's a British Airways.
Right.
Dude, I'm so buzzed. That's the name of a hair salon. Get the blank out of my hair. No, get the blank out of hair. They have a different word.
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah.
Curl up and die.
I've seen that one before.
And clipping penalty. So all of these are names that the internet thought were terrible names for hair salons. I kind of think they're cute. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is from W.C. Fields, who said, If at first you don't succeed, try again. Then quit. There's no point in being a fool about it. I like that. That is a cute quote.
It is.
I've
I
heard
like
that numerous times.
I have as well.
Because I've also not quit numerous times. And then I just get into the darn fool zone. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. And I think this is pretty cool. Heroic commuter rescues dog trapped on the train tracks. How amazing
I
is
think
this?
I saw this video, actually.
Yeah, it's online. In a remarkable display of courage and compassion, a band of quick-thinking rail passengers, passengers,
oh my gosh,
united to save a stranded canine that had tumbled onto the tracks in Glasgow, Scotland. Captured in a gripping video, a group of commuters sprang into action to aid the frightened four-legged companion who had slipped into the void between the train and the platform. A dog fell under the train tracks. The train stopped and people jumped in for help, according to one of the people. It says, I was on my way from Patrick to Glasgow Queen Street. I was getting off the train when, from what I know, a dog slipped and fell through the gap on the train. Just like everyone else, I was so shocked and worried that the train driver wouldn't hear us. We did our best to shout at them to stop, and they did, and they came out and helped. Ultimately, a duo of passengers succeeded in extricating the dog from its predicament. It says, we're pleased to see the dog was retrieved safely and well, and we take this opportunity to remind customers to keep well back from the platform edges when trains are arriving and leaving the station, and to keep hold of pets and push chairs and other belongings while getting on and off the train.
Right, exactly.
It would be very easy for somebody to drop something or slip. I'm seeing the video. I could see where this would happen, but I'm really glad this dog is okay. And you said you saw this video online?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched this one.
All right. If you'd like to see it, I do have a link to it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.